Hello, hello, hello. How is everybody doing? Top of the morning, evening, afternoon, and good night. I got a clip this morning that I wanted to share with you. Now, usually I do not get involved with any type of war politics. While I'm typically a very opinionated person, I figured that would I want to share this, and I just want to let people know my opinions on it because there's a lot of controversy around this. And I know that most platforms do not want any of this to be covered just because the amount of negative connotations that go with it. So I want to give Matthew a shout out. Oh, wow, that is not playing any audio. Because of yesterday. Thank you so much, Lance. Oh, thank you, Monkey. And Jenna, Jiminy Cricket Lady. That's a lot. Thank you so much. I don't have an audio bite on this channel. But thank you. Thank you so much. Okay, so, wow. Taken back by that large-ass donation. There's this thing, right? Everybody knows about the Russia-Ukraine thing. This has been going on for... I don't even know. 4 years? Before I moved out here. 2020, I think. So there's this little clip. Let me share this with you guys. If I could get this up. Let's share this. It's about a 9-minute clip. There's 9 people in here. So a minute for each person that's in here. I love it. All right, let me share this real quick. Let's go over here. And I want to play this. Big shout out to Matthew for supplying this lovely bit of information here. But let's listen in on this. This is basically saying that Russia will attack UK if they help out Ukraine. That's it. That's literally the title of it. Here we go.
Of Russian experts and more amount of them saying that Russia will have to use tactical nuclear weaponry.
Sergei Markov is a Russian political scientist and a close advisor to Vladimir Putin, and he joins us now. Hello.
Hello.
Russia attacked.
This gets a little heated, though. Just keep that in mind. It gets very heated.
Ukraine. So why should they be upset if Ukraine fights back with all the weapons at its disposal?
It's very easy. First of all, the main reason why Russia attacked Ukraine is to liberate Ukrainian people from clear terroristic, Russophobic and neo-Nazi regime. It's first.
Yeah, well, it's not liberating it, is it? It's bombarding it, killing its citizens.
Liberating them. And your government is lying.
Well, liberating them by killing them.
To lie. But okay, but go ahead and understand. Before this, during these 2 years, Ukrainian army strike Russian army. It's bad things, but it's reasonable. But mostly important that now you want to bomb Russian cities by your rocket missiles and by your satellite group. So you want to.
Let me pause it for a second. You know what I've noticed is I wonder if during World War II, if they had the platform to do so like they do today with all the social media and all the different websites to stream video to, would they have done this? When I say they, I'm referencing anybody in combat, whether it is a political advisor, whether it is someone really close to an individual. Would they have done this to try to get people to side with said country? Because essentially what I've gotten out of this 1 minute in is that first off, I don't understand why other countries get involved with other conflicts. While I get the idea and the premise that it makes sense to help out a country that's helping you, I mean, it makes perfect sense. They're giving you money, so you go help. But then all that does is put the people in your country at risk of going at war with them. And this is not a World War II scenario where it's Hitler trying to take over all of Europe and they just needed help. Russia, I will say this though, Russia's army, the Red Army, pushed Hitler all the way back into Germany, into Berlin. So they were strong. I'm not saying they're that now. It's just that made sense because it was a conglomerate. It wasn't just one country. What I find now, and being ex-military myself, I found that we go to help out a lot of other people in other countries. I wonder how much other countries help out America drop. Well, I guess we're never in a situation where we need to drop aid or drop food or health types of vaccines. Yeah, that would be a third world country. But it always bothered me that we're essentially the policemen of the world. Now, this in theory has nothing to do with the United States. This is United Kingdom versus Russia via proxy Ukraine. So why other countries get involved with this? It's only going to end well. It's not going to end well. That's it.
To target your rocket missiles to the Russian cities to kill our people. Your Great Britain is going to do it, and you think that we will?
Well, hang on.
Keep silent. Because Ukrainian army has no own satellite group, so it's exactly you are going to target these rocket missiles to Russian cities. And you think that we?
Russia,
say, okay,
well, hang on. No. Russia is getting weapons from Iran. Russia is getting weapons from China, yes, which it is targeting at Ukraine and killing Ukrainian citizens.
No.
Ukrainian civilians. So why can't Ukraine retaliate?
Yeah, the difference is very simple. If Russia gets some rocket missiles, which, by the way, Iran deny, but nevertheless, let's imagine that Russia gets some rocket missile from North Korea and from Iran. But
does anybody ever wonder, do Russians actually speak Arabic? I've always wondered that. Like you think of North Korea and Russia, or you think of China and Russia. It's funny though when you look at Russia on the map, a large portion of that is actually in Asia. But I've always wondered that. So when Russia goes to Iran, I'm trying to add moments of levity here. When Russia goes to Iran to order their missiles, do they speak Arabic or do they speak Russian? Nobody ever wonders that? Okay, I'm just going to keep going. That's just a random thought that goes through my mind all the time when I hear about this country speaking to this country.
But
because clearly this guy's English is absolutely shit, right? They're not speaking English. It's hard for me to understand anything he is saying without closed captions. That's all. All right, let's just keep going.
But nevertheless, let's imagine that Russia gets some rocket missile from North Korea, and
I get what he's going to say. He's going to say that Russia has its own satellites. They don't rely on other countries. That's what he's going to say.
From Iran. But we're targeting target ourselves. But Ukrainian army has no satellite group, and that's why it's your Americans and British going to target those.
See, this is. I'm also going to have to agree. I don't think America needs to be getting involved in this shit. Nope. I think we need to stay out of the Israel Palestinian conflict. I think we need to stay out of the Ukraine Russian conflict and let those things work each other out. That's it. Until it starts affecting Americans as a whole. Nope.
Rocket missiles to Russian cities. It's directed women to war. You want to have war? Go ahead.
Well, what would war mean? Does that mean you expect if this attack on Russian territory with the assistance, clearly there is assistance from...
Not assistance. Not assistance.
Yeah.
It's Ukrainian assist you. It's Ukrainian assist you. And those Ukrainians which you make your proxy army. Because most of the Ukrainians doesn't want to fight, as you may know.
President Putin says that it's effectively a declaration of war. I'm just asking how he would respond. Should we expect that there will be attacks on British territory, for example?
Finally, yes. Finally, of course, it will be attack against British territory. But from the beginning, but it depends also on the Great Britain. But from the beginning, I think the British embassy will be closed. then Russian embassy will be closed in Britain. Then some of the British drones and military aviation would be crashed down. And also because these British missiles will be used from F-16, but F-16 based not in Ukraine. They based on the Romania and Poland airfield. Possibly Russian army will have to give a real strike to those F-16, which is on the Romania and Poland airfields.
And do you see any chance of the use of tactical nuclear weapons by Russia?
Yes, of course, because now...
Okay, I just want to point this out. This dude is like it's not even... Is this even sanctioned? So this is just some dude it's essentially me talking to somebody that was in power at some point, asking about what that country's going to do in response or retaliation. That is so fascinating to me. You have this individual, I don't remember what his role was, former close advisor to Vladimir Putin. Is Putin aware of this little thing here? Okay.
A lot of Russian experts and more amount of them saying that Russia will have to use tactical nuclear weaponry, specifically exists first stage possibly against exactly this F-16. Because F-16...
Does anybody know if we've used nukes ever since World War II? Like, obviously, nuclear subs, but in that type of, well, obviously not at that magnitude, but have we used nuclear war between two countries post-World War II?
16 is part of the nuclear potential of the NATO countries. And it looks like that this British rocket missiles from American F-16 jet will be a target not only against Russian cities, but also...
See, we wouldn't be a target if we didn't get involved.
Part of the Russian nuclear defense system. If you will hit, if you strike against Russian nuclear defense system, Russia will have to respond.
What do you say to the British politicians we've been speaking to on the programme this morning who say, well, you know, we've heard these threats and saber rattling from President Putin before, and as the support for Ukraine has escalated, actually, there hasn't been any delivery on those threats?
Yes, it's exactly... Vladimir Putin never gave a strong response to escalation. That's why he was very strongly criticized inside country. That what it means. It means that Western countries are going endless escalation, but Russia don't give any response. And finally, Western politicians, American and British, come to the conclusion: no, Russia has no red lines. Just hit Russia, hit it, put Russia on the knees. And now people say, look, no. This should be stopped. Mr. Putin, say them that it will be their last time. We will give response. It's the difference.
You are confirming, or you've just confirmed, that North Korea has supplied weapons. Where is Russia getting its weapons from? North Korea, Iran, China, is that correct?
It's very small. It's a top secret. I don't know exact details. What I know for sure that 90% of the Ukrainian army weaponry is Western weaponry, and 90% of the Russian.
I don't know about you guys. Even if you're not interested in this is pretty freaking crazy, bro. Like,
weaponry is Russian weaponry. That's why it means that we are taking part in those war, but Ukraine is not the side. We believe that we have hybrid war with NATO and first of all, of course, United States and its allies as Britain. So from our point of view, you made Ukrainians your slaves and use your slaves in fight in having war against proxy war against us.
The reality, though, is that neither side appears to be winning this war. Russia thought it would be a matter of days, and here we are more than 2 years
2
later.
years.
Do you think really that your country is tiring of this war and is ready to negotiate a settlement?
Yes, of course, Russia ready to negotiate. I think that the position for negotiation appears deal very easily. First of all, democratization of Ukraine. It means all political prisoners in Ukraine, all thousands of political prisoners should be liberated. All dozens of political parties which have been prohibited by Vladimir Zelensky should act free, and all hundreds of the media which have been prohibited by Zelensky also could be free. All political refugees should have the right to come back to Ukrainian territory and take part in the political life. It's first democratization, then denazification. When we're talking about denazification, we're talking not only about taking neo-Nazi from Kiev regime, but first of all, stopping system of terror, which is a major political...
That doesn't sound like a peace settlement. That sounds like a victory which Russia's failed to deliver. I just wonder if, let's assume that there was some territorial exchange, that Russia did take some of the Donetsk provinces, would it ever be acceptable that the rest of Ukraine could be a sovereign country, a member of NATO, and an applicant to the European Union?
Sovereign country and member of NATO is contradiction in itself, because to be member of NATO, it means to give some big part of its sovereignty to the United States of America. It means that we want Ukraine to be independent country. It's meaning that Ukraine should have not only demilitarization, but denatofication. So all NATO representative should leave Ukraine. And Ukraine could be independent like Switzerland. I think Ukrainians would like to be Switzerland.
Okay. Sergei Markov, thank you very much indeed.
Wow. Wow. So... Oh my, I don't even know how to comment on this. So my opinion is simple. I think that if we continue to assist countries in war, not necessarily just Ukrainian, Syria, whatever, you pick the country, all that's going to do is, if said country wins, then what do you think is going to happen? Right? If let's just say in theory, rhetorically, right, or theoretically, if Russia wins this war with Ukraine, do you not think that they will remember all of the countries that tried to assist Ukraine? Let's just say, I don't see how Russia can win this, honestly, because if Russia, okay, I'm not the most up to date with the whole Russian-Ukrainian war. But in my mind, if you have 15 countries helping out one, and they're all, as a whole, they're all attacking Russia and helping out Ukraine, it's an interesting perspective to look at it as slaves. I mean, we're giving you the weaponry to fight the country. So I wouldn't necessarily call them slaves. More so not mercenaries, but soldiers of other countries. If Russia was to, let's just say, stormtroop throughout Ukraine, take it over, other countries would push back. Yes? Because they're already helping them now. So that war could go on forever. And then it's just a matter of time before, I think Russia's not claiming it to be war yet because they're so preoccupied with Ukraine and all the countries that are helping it out. Versus if they win and they get what they want, well, then now it is focus fire on those other ones. We can now put our resources, essentially learning from Hitler, right? Don't use all of your resources and spread yourself too thin. So don't claim war out on a country. For instance, they're attacking Ukraine, right? If they were to say, you know what, America, we're at war. Or you know what, UK, we're at war. Now they're going to be getting hit from all those other countries, south of them in Ukraine, or whatever, south is good enough, south in Ukraine, and then you're going to be hitting from the left, you're going to be hitting from the right. So you're going to be getting attacked from all angles, kind of like what happened to Hitler. So assuming that they lose, then okay, everything is done. Assuming that they win, there's going to be another war. Mark my words. I don't care who's president. Trump, Kamala Harris, I don't care. It doesn't matter. There's going to be some shit that pops off. Do I think that Trump would be able to de-escalate this? Yes, I do. Yes, I 100% believe so. Yes. How? I don't know. Obviously, that's his doing. But I also think we shouldn't be in a position to de-escalate it. I think we should not get involved in a lot of these conflicts that we're in. It doesn't do America any justice, right? It just causes us to waste money on making weaponry for said country. Yeah, it helps out government employees, but it doesn't help out the John Q, general public. And it will never stop. As long as those countries remain in there, unless Russia loses, it will never stop. If Russia wins, it's over. It's a wrap. I don't know, man, because if you try to ship something to Russia, this is crazy. If you I don't know if you can message somebody from Russia. I mean, I only know like 6 Russians, but they've limited so much of the outside world to Russia because of this. If we were not involved, we would not be doing that. And I know that a lot of platforms don't want me to talk on this. I'm not taking neither side. I'm just saying that at some point, some country has to give in. Not the other countries helping out Ukraine. It either has to be Ukraine or Russia. And for some reason, inside of me, I wholeheartedly doubt that Russia will give up. No. And you have 2 major forces fighting alongside. Now, I'm not going to sit and demilitarize, if you will, other countries. I'm just saying that you have China and North Korea helping out Russia and the Middle East, who's at war with Israel. Well, have been forever. One of, not the most populated country in the world, I think that's India now. I don't know where India stands with this, but if you have China helping out Russia, we import things from Russia, yes? Okay. You might want to get out of this. I'm not a political advisor. I don't know what happens behind closed doors. But if we rely so heavily, so much on China, it might be in our best interest to just bow out. Listen, I think that's what Trump would do. I think Trump would say, listen, here's the deal. Somebody's got to come to something. And we don't want to be involved anymore. Might have a different, conversation with Putin versus Zelensky. I'm sure it's going to be a different conversation, but we don't want to do this anymore. This is not good for anybody. And it's not good for Russia because they're losing money. It's not good for Ukrainians because, I'm not gonna lie, I kind of want to go, like, to the war zone. Does it look like the DMZ in North Korea, like in the 60s and the 70s? Or is it like combat, like when I was in Iraq? Like, what is, and I'm sure you can pull up videos where I've seen them before. Now I'm talking about actually being there and experiencing it. Is it popping off like what the news says? Is it truly that bad? I don't know. Because we're only forced to believe with what we see, and that's news. Yeah, I wouldn't trust any of that as far as I would throw it. Well, Bree, that's typically how wars go, right? America says, you know what? We like that piece of land right there. We're going to go take it. And that's how wars have always been. The only difference is that wars, the Indians and Colonel Custer, they all got together to kind of rock his army. Essentially, what that would be in today is all of these countries helping out Ukraine. What is What, just pick a country in Europe. What are they going to do when Russia's like, now we're coming for you because we know that you supplied whatever these tanks to Ukraine? What are you going to do? Now you're going to have America come again? And then again? And then again, and then again? You've seen the current military that we have? Not okay. I'm talking about the people that are in the military, not so much the military as a whole, but more so the people that are in it. You have a kindler and softer, gentler army. And I'm not talking about special forces on any branch. I'm talking about more about the peons, the little guys. You really want them fighting a war for us? I'm good. I want like Band of Brothers shit, Saving Private Ryan. I don't want a bunch of people wearing fucking rainbow flags while going into combat. And I'm not talking about the Ukrainian purple, orange, yellow flag. I'm talking about LGBTQ plus and going into combat. I can't take you seriously. I'm sorry. I have a hard time with this. NATO and EU, they have each other's back, even without the U.S. You think if United States and Great Britain did not get involved in that there would still be a fight? You got to be fucking kidding me, right? You got to be kidding me, Moper. You honestly think that NATO and EU would be able to hold back Russia alone? How did that... Okay. Okay. Sure. Okay. Okay. Well, you know what? Okay. Yep. You are as lost as... Ooh, how do I say this without being offensive? You are extremely confused. There is no way that then why? Okay, if that argument is accurate, that NATO and EU can hold them off alone, why is Great Britain and United States involved? Why? Why do you need us? Why do you need America then? Or why do you need Great Britain? Why are they asking for help from those countries? If that is true, why do you need assistance? What fighter jets do you guys use in EU and NATO? What fighter jets do you? Where are they made? Well, I don't know about that, Mandolin. Trump's been trying to pull out of NATO since... Okay. I think this is fascinating that you think NATO and EU can hold back Russia on its own. Okay, but Britain, okay. First off, let's see. Let me just say, I have to look this up before I say it. I don't want to give... I want to do 20 seconds of researching. What fighter jets are made overseas? No. Yeah, that works. A final assembly of some F-16s take place in Belgium and the Netherlands, and components are manufactured in 5 countries. The J-20. That's a good jet. F-35 Lightning. Lockheed Martin is no, that's not. Nope, that's Lockheed Martin F-35s. Okay, well, I pulled up two jets. Okay, so first off, let's be clear, right? If you're referencing NATO as a whole, including United States, including Britain, then your argument is invalid because NATO, that is part of those two. So now, if we go to my argument about the jets, the only thing I can pull up is two. That's a quick search. Quick search. The what was that? Shit. The J-20 and that's not your side though. That's Chinese. I can't pull up anything. Uh, I got nothing. So, but those jets would have to be supplied by United States, which means that United States is involved. And United States and Britain being part of NATO, uh, you have to be referencing just NATO and European Union. That's what you have to be referencing, just Europe by itself. Europe by itself could not do anything without, and to be fair, Britain is not part of the European Union, right? Breakfast, they're on their own. So if you honestly think that Ukraine would be able to win that without the support of other countries, I highly doubt that very much. But they're not part of EU. You made it very unless you're referencing NATO as European Union, or are you talking about NATO on a national level, like internationally? Because internationally, United States and Britain, I believe Britain is still part of NATO. Yes, it is. So if Russia, okay, let me be a little bit more clear for you, Moper. If Russia wins this, right? Let's just say Russia wins the situation with Ukraine. They're going to attack those countries, right? I mean, you just heard the dude, right? Like you just heard him. Okay, so I don't know what else you need. They're going to attack United States. Well, no, they did say attack. That guy did say attack on the United States. They're going to attack United States and UK. You don't think that they're going to go after the smaller countries? Just pick a surrounding country of Ukraine. Just pick one. I don't know. You don't even have to. You can go further east, further west if you want. Let's go to Germany. Well, I don't think Germany's going to do a whole lot. Let's do France, right? They developed some weaponry in France. Those Storm Shadow missiles. Those are, I think, French and British, maybe French and something. So you don't think that they're going to attack France? And then who's going to get involved then? Then America's going to get involved again. See, it's easy for people that don't serve or know what it's like to serve because you sit behind a computer, you sit behind a TV. It's totally fine for you to think it's okay for other soldiers to sacrifice their lives for other people. What is the cost of a life? It doesn't matter what nationality you are. What is the cost? And it is at the cost of political refugees or whatever, land. It's an argument that makes no sense because if it's about money, wars ultimately bring money to those nations. They do. However, I will say that if all these countries did, if I get into a fist fight, right, me and Bob are fighting on the street, and me and Bob square off. Whoever wins that fight wins that fight. Now, if there's 6 other people that are with me helping fighting Bob, that's not a fair fight. It's not. And I'm breaking this down to a bare, basic, because Ukraine is not part of NATO. Okay? So let's just rule that out. So why we're even helping them, I don't know. Out of my pay grade. It's not a fair fight. But now once me and Bob fight, it's whoever's the strongest or the best fighter or the most tactical is going to win that fight without the help of others. If your country needs help, you can't win that alone. That being said, if other countries got involved with Russia, let's just say what they're saying, that UK is now using Storm Shadow missiles. Now they're going to focus fire on UK. the same thing that's happening in Ukraine would be the same thing that would be happening with Britain. The only difference with this would be is if you attack United States, I don't think it would go by this easy. I don't think it would be, it first of all would not last 2 years. I can promise you that. 2 years, no. And if you attack American soil, I am not trying to sound like a cocky American. I'm just telling you that anybody that has attacked American soil, they're now our bitch. Whether you want to pick the Twin Towers, whether you want to pick the burning of the White House in 1812, whether you want to pick the Revolutionary War, I don't know. No matter what you want to pick. So I doubt that Russia's going to attack America. But if they did, which is what they're threatening, that's different. But we're not talking about that. We're talking about if they were to attack another European country, the same shit that's happening in Ukraine is just, it's going to be a rinse and repeat. And I think that Vladimir Putin probably learned his lessons from his history books and his generals about Hitler and World War II, not to spread yourself too thin, which is why he's probably hyper-focused right now with Ukraine. But Russia's 3-day operation, so it's going to sound like I'm defending Russia. Russia's 3-day operation was not dictated by other countries helping out Ukraine. Look at this from a centrist point of view. If I think it's going to take me 2 minutes to fight you and beat you, I'm not expecting 65 other people with belts and chains to show up to help beat me up. Right? I'm expecting just me and you to fight. So if other people are supporting you, okay, this fight's going to take longer than I had anticipated. No side is winning. And Ukraine has the help of how many countries? 25? Hold on. I think it's 25 or 30. Oh my goodness. No, that can't be right. That can't be right. Australia, Belgium, Brazil, Canada, Sweden, CO, I don't know. Czechoslovakia, Denmark, Germany. Oh God, some of these countries, I need to go back to geography. Hungary, Greece, Italy, Japan, Korea, KZ. New Zealand, KZ. I don't know what KZ is. Kazakhstan? Lithuania. Oh my God. Latvia, LT. I don't know what that is. LU. Netherlands, MD. Maryland? No, NL is Netherlands. I don't know. I don't know a lot of these countries, but there's a lot. Oh, here we go. Made up of 57 countries, including all 32 member states of NATO and 25 other countries. Yeah, that's a lot of countries. Yep. Yeah, that's a lot. That's a lot of countries, man. 57 countries. Yes. There you go. Notice all these people are like, you know what? I ain't got time for this shit. There's some other things going on. Mexico's too worried about the cartel. Central America's not touching it. Basically, all of South America is not involved. Africa is trying to figure out how the fuck they're going to get tobacco from America while America's over here. You just basically see all of Europe over here. I don't know what that one country is right there that's just kind of minding its own business. What kind of the Switzerland? Switzerland don't want shit to do with it. And Bosnia, yeah, they got too many other problems. What's this little guy? I don't know what that is. That country, not involved. Not just they are surrounded by shit. I don't want nothing to do with it. It's fascinating to me that if they were able to do it by themselves, it would have been done. Would have been done, but it's not. So, KZ is Kazakhstan. Yeah, I figured that. I think I said that. Thanks for trying to correct everything I said already. And it's just interesting to me because Ukraine is not part of NATO. So why are we helping it out? Well, because there's a lot of money in there, and we don't want to leave it to the Russians because we know the Russians are going to stiff us over. That's what I get out of it as a see. But this shit, this is why I've always said that I don't think America or any country should broadcast what is happening. If you got somebody that's over there that's got some news, let it be breaking, and that's the end of it. Go back to the old ways, man. Look prior to World War I and World War II. Just look at all the wars, the 100-Year War. Oh my God, look at all the wars that existed prior to those two major wars. Did we have to get involved in World War I? I'll say yes. World War II? Yes. Vietnam? Nope. Korean? Nope. And those aren't really wars anyway. But nope. Persian Gulf? No. Nope. OIF? OEF? No to all of those. And I took part of 2 of those. But I don't even know 2 of them overlapped. I don't think that we need to get involved, and I don't think that other countries need to help out any other country for that matter. Let's just say that when they're done, they're like, you know what? France looks good. We're going to skip 7 countries, 9 countries, and then we're going to go right to France. Sounds a lot like Hitler. That's all I'm saying. You take that how you want to take that. And I all that's doing is just you're spending your resources on helping that country, just bringing up taxes for everybody. That's it. Yeah, you might be bringing in jobs, but you're also causing a strain on from what I've read, we are helping Ukraine because it's geographically important with the mountains and shit. I love your comment, D-Rams. I absolutely love that comment with the mountains and shit. No, I get it. I'm just saying, like, I understand that you kind of have to. Like, I get that. I'm just saying that if the other side wins, if me and you are, let me try to break this down again. I'm going to fight you. We're going to throw down in the middle of the street. And you bring 5 other people with you. I'm going to beat the shit, if I can, beat the shit out of those 5 people. But when I get to you, you don't think that I'm going to treat you worse than what I would if it, yeah, that was right. What I would if it was just me and you? Yes, of course. Because I got through the 5 people. I'm angry as shit you pulled other people into this. You just heard it from that dude. If you attack us with the shit that you're making and you do it, we're going to come for you. I don't know what else you need. I think that's pretty damn, it's pretty solid. Would Russia have attacked if Ukraine still had their own nukes? What did we promise Ukraine in exchange for getting rid of their nukes? Then why didn't Ukraine join NATO? Yeah, Trump also promised he was going to save vaping. So, yeah, what politicians say and what they do are 2 different things. And if you let's just say in theory, let's you know what, Moper, I'll take your side for a moment. Watch this. Watch how I could do this. I'm going to do something that you can't do. I could see your side. Okay, that's called balanced and being unbiased and centrist. So I'll take your side for a second. Ukraine's got all these nukes. They start dropping nukes in Russia. Boom, 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 blowing up half the country. Now, Ukraine doesn't want Russia, right? They just want Russia out. He's made that very clear. I want nothing to do with this. I want out. Okay, so he starts dropping nukes. Da-da-da-pop-pop-pop-pop. Great. Cool. Now, what that says to every other country around is, hey, we can have nukes too. So if we're not part of NATO, we're going to get nukes. We're going to do the same thing. And now everybody is Hiroshima in it. Nagasaki in it. Great. Yes. Cool. You win. But guess what? You don't. So there's that. Doesn't matter why. What happens in the past doesn't matter. What happens today matters. And if you attack America or Britain, which is probably, I don't know if it's our strongest ally, which is a powerful ally, probably because we both speak the same language. Ignore Canada. That's Justin Trudeau. Yeah, and he's too worried about hanging up rainbow flags. That only is going to further exacerbate the situation and make it that much more dangerous. That's all. So, and this all happens because other countries got involved. If other countries did not get involved, this would not be a problem. I don't think Ukraine would be Ukraine anymore. I think it would go back to Soviet Union. Again, I am not taking sides as to who is right or who is wrong. I'm just saying that other countries should mind their own fucking business. You've got homeless people in your country. You've got your own problems you need to fix. Your environment, your streets, your roads, your military, I don't know, food. Pick it. Help that out. Help out the people in Africa that have to build up a tent because they're getting destroyed by rebel. Well, we did this in Somalia. That did. Black Hawk Down, anybody? Yeah, again, getting involved in shit that we don't need to get involved in. Why would we help out Somalia? I'm just going on a tangent right now. That's another catastrophe right there. Lives lost because, well, Somalia is it's over a general. That's a whole different story. The two forces are evenly matched in terms of known nuclear capability. With the NATO nuclear powers, the US, the UK, and France able to field 57, 59 nuclear warheads, Russia's 58, 89. Right. And if you don't think that those nuclear plants that were making those nuclear bombs in Ukraine still exist, of course they do. So if Russia takes that over, you don't think that they would just use those plants to manufacture more? I mean, it's absolutely is absolutely ridiculous. I'm just, yeah, put me in for president. Listen, here's the deal. Listen, I understand nobody likes me because I'm a little bit harsh. We're gonna pull out now, right? We helped you out. Pull like a Nicolas Cage. You know what I mean? Supply both sides with shit. Give some to Ukraine, give some to Russia. Just play the middleman. We do that anyway, right? Everybody knows that. Just give everybody shit. You want to know about Russia's capabilities? Look up Afghan-Russia war. Look that up. That's an interesting read. I don't know if they've made any movies or documentaries on that. Look what happened to Russia. I don't think it's just a fair fight. That's all I'm saying. I am a big fan of a one-on-one. Forget NATO. Throw all that shit out the window. You want to fight me? You want to take my land? Let's get it. My army versus yours. You know what? Don't even do that. Do some shit from Troy. Take your best soldier. Take my best soldier. Give them the scepter of the lands. Fight. Or, better yet, Vladimir Putin and Vladimir Zelensky. Nobody finds that weird that they both have the same first name. Are they related? No, you wouldn't be related. You wouldn't have the same first name. Take those two, put them in a boxing match, and whoever wins, that's the end. That is it. It is over. No more lives lost. No more nothing. Is a paper tiger. Shit. Just let them fight. You don't like this. You don't like this. That's fine. Here's, you know what? Bare knuckle it. No gloves. Just get in there. Just get in. Just get in there. Just go. Fight. Go. You two right now. That's it. We're done. No more people dying. That's it. Put them in the ring. Let's go. Let's see. I want to see who wins. First off, if you think Conor McGregor's ticket sales were high, you're not ready for this. I'm just saying that Russia, I don't want to do this because it sounds like I'm taking a side. I'm trying so hard to be balanced. Russia is a very large country, man. It kind of like encapsulates all of the top of a globe. You remember when you were a kid and you would spin that shit and you had to like point real quick and that's where you land and you always ended up in Siberia? It is fucking massive. Like, if you spin that shit, don't piss off that country, man. They got wolves and snow and just crazy fucking people. You got from indigenous to Asians, Chinese, Ukraine. You got everything. That is a mixing pot. For something that takes up so much part of the globe, you'd be like, well, that's desolate. Look up where the worst prisons in the world are. Just to help you out, man, it's Russia. They just don't give a shit. Just let them fight. That's it. And you know what? You could bring a sword or like a bamboo rod or something or like a bow. You could bring some kind of weaponry, but whatever it is, if you want to bring size, I get to bring a bonsai tree. You know what I mean? Too much Cobra Kai. If you get to bring a sai, I get to bring a sword. That's it. It's over. It's literally going to take 20 minutes tops. And whoever wins that fight, that's it. You can't get more fair than that. Nobody else needs to get involved. Nobody wants to do that. You know why nobody wants to do that? Because you're fucking pussies. That's it. I think Donald Trump, he doesn't like, I don't know, pick somebody. I don't even know anybody. Margaret Thatcher. They should go in a ring together. Margaret Thatcher's dead. But you get the point. Margaret Thatcher in a prime, Donald Trump in his prime, go. That's it. See who wins. I don't know why they're fighting. I would watch it. I would watch those two duke it out. Everything always falls on America. Always. What's America going to do? Well, a lot of these laws that you see passed in all these countries, man, all of them, pick a country. All of these laws that are passed are usually passed down from the states. Look at vaping. You know, that's just one example of gun laws. Well, I don't know about that one. You just look at it. Oh, America's going to do this. Oh, wait. Look at America, a bunch of ignorant idiots. We're going to copy them, though. What does that make you? It makes you a lot worse than we are. Oh, fine. We'll be ignorant idiots. We meant it. And I'm just going to tell you this. I'm going to point this out for any Europeans that are watching this shit. I've been to Europe. I've been all over Europe, like 3 countries. I know it's not enough, but the span of those 3 countries is enough to where I kind of got everything. You know, I was on one side, other side, downside. I didn't clear the top because I would have been in Siberia. But I was there. And I can tell you just from those 3 countries alone, usually you look at Americans as ignorant and idiots and stupid. Okay. I'm going to alienate a lot of people real quick. Actually, no, I'm not. When I hear you speak and the things that come out of your mouth make you sound a lot worse than the things we actually take action on. Now, there is one exception to this policy, and that's British. Whenever we hear British accents, we automatically think that they're more intelligent than us. I don't know if it's the way that they speak. I don't know if it's the way that they put themselves together. They do have bad teeth. But that set aside, don't look at their mouth when they talk. Look at their shoes. They have bad teeth traditionally. I think they just have bad dentists. But we always look at them as posh and smart, when in reality, they're pretty fucking stupid. Because we wouldn't have got involved in World War II if it wasn't for UK. But that's another point. I'm just saying that a lot of the laws that you see and a lot of the problems that you have, you always rely on America, who's the ignorant idiots. And if we're helping you out, what does that make you? A whole lot worse than what we are. Those are facts. That's not opinion based. You don't believe me? Go look up. Check this out. I'm going to do you one better. I want you to look up 20 actors who have money and from UK and look at their teeth. Those are actors. Look at their teeth. You could always judge someone by their teeth and their fingernails. I know it seems so arbitrary, but if you don't care that you got funk underneath your index finger, you dirty as shit. And if you're dirty, you're not better than me. You're filthy. You're gross. That's all. Stay beautiful and stay in your own fucking country in your own lane.